Bob Mackin, theBreaker.news in Vancouver. For Premier Eby, you've encouraged British Columbians to boycott travel to the United States. You've ordered the government to avoid procuring goods and services from the United States, yet you're keeping BC involved in the FIFA World Cup 26 and not exercising the force majeure uh, clause in the contract. Now, three-quarters of the matches are in the U.S. It involves American sponsors such as Home Depot, Bank of America, McDonald's, and Coca-Cola, which all must be protected here in BC under the contract. And Donald Trump is a very enthusiastic supporter of FIFA and a close friend of Gianni Infantino, the president. So why keep BC involved in Donald Trump's party?
Well, I think World Cup enthusiasts around the world would be shocked to hear the World Cup described as Donald Trump's party. This is a celebration of soccer fans around the world of world-class soccer. We're thrilled to have games in British Columbia for soccer fans, and I know that my colleague Doug Ford in Ontario is excited about having games in Ontario. This is a great example of what I'm talking about in terms of minimizing impact on British Columbians and Canadians of our retaliation, and trying our best to get through this tariff war while sending a message. World Cup is going to bring about $1 billion in benefits to British Columbia. And we're excited about that. We're excited about world-class soccer coming here. And actually, one of the offers we've made is, given the actions of the president around deportations, arrests, extrajudicial deportations, and other concerns that people may have about crossing the border to the United States, we've offered to host additional games on short notice if a team is concerned about crossing the border into the U.S. and feels more comfortable coming to Canada.
Yeah, I've got a follow-up. Now, Vancouver has a hotel shortage. You don't have support yet from the federal government for all the federal services, including security and safety. And downtown Vancouver businesses now near BC Place, where there are going to be severe closures, are worried about being able to stay open because of those transportation and security barriers that might affect them economically. As well, the BC Poverty Reduction Coalition says it has been unable to get any meetings with provincial or Vancouver officials about FIFA and the impacts on the homeless and the poor that need to access services and go about their daily lives in Vancouver next year. They're also worried about civil liberties, which you used to be worried about. What do you say to the small businesses that are near BC Place that will be affected, that might be on the wrong side of a security fence and can't access their customers, their suppliers, that their staff can't access? And what do you say to the people, the people that advocate for the homeless and the poor in downtown Vancouver, whose lives will also be affected by this very large event, which is going to have very severe impacts from a transportation and security standpoint next year?
Well, BC has a proud history of hosting large events. This one is quite different from the Olympics, Bob. As you know, this is contained at a single venue, and we'll be working closely as a government with the businesses that are inside any security perimeters. What businesses in downtown Vancouver are going to see is a massive influx of visitors, of guests, of business. They are going to be overwhelmed with positive economic activity, which they definitely need in the environment that we're talking about, and the challenges that our economy has faced as a result of the president's unilateral actions. This is positive economic news for the downtown BIA and for British Columbians, but we need to make sure that we're doing it in a way that allows those businesses to be as successful as possible, which is why we'll work closely with them to ensure that happens. In terms of people who are struggling in our province, and we continue to work to ensure that we're building the housing that people need, but also that there's a positive legacy coming out of the World Cup for lower income communities. Building sports fields across the province, ensuring that kids have the chance to participate in sports. And have that opportunity to celebrate the World Cup regardless of their economic circumstances. One of the great things about soccer is that regardless of a country's economic status, of the wealth that they have, it's a sport that kids can play for relatively low cost, and we'll do our part to bring soccer to throughout the province as part of our celebration here in BC.
So we're here to create and to make the best show on the planet ever, and we'll do it together, Mr. President.
Oh, that's great. I love what he said, like 3 Super Bowls a day for a month. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
That's really amazing when you think of it. I've never heard that expressed. That's a lot. When we made this, it was made during my term, my first term, and it was so sad because I said, can you imagine I'm not going to be president? And that's too bad. And then what happened is they rigged the election and I became president. So that was a good thing.
How do you see the World Cup playing out with the tensions you have with Canada and Mexico?
Oh, I think it's going to make it more exciting. Tension's a good thing.
Even for the World Cup?
Yeah, I think so. I think it makes it much more exciting. In my first term, I negotiated the return of the World Cup to America, and now in my second term, I'll have the honor of hosting the World Cup. And next summer, we'll host the official 2026 World Cup tournament, where 48 national teams will compete in 78 matches right here in the USA.
We were actually, Mr. President, so happy that the World Cup 2026 will take place in the United States, in Canada, and in Mexico.
Did you notice the way he said that? In the United States, Canada, Mexico. That's the way it's supposed to be.